So good afternoon all. So we are going to start the tutorials on the .NET. So actually what is .NET? We will start with the term .NET. What is .NET? So then what is .NET? Actually .NET is a simply in simple words if you want to say. So .NET is a software. Okay, .NET is a software which is built by the Microsoft company. So just it is software, but what it is used for? Actually what is .NET means? It is a application development platform. Application development platform. Application development platform. So for building of applications, we require some software, means we require one programming language, right? First of all, you need to write the code, and then we can able to implement the applications afterwards. Okay, first of all, you need to develop the code. So developers will write the code for the application. Then after that, that application will be published into the market, right? So and then to develop such kind of application, we require a platform. We require not only programming language, we require the support of other components also. Other things are also needed. You require a GUI for your application. You require a database connectivity for your application, right? To do this all tasks, all are provided by the .NET. You can able to interact with the database, and you can able to develop web pages, and you can able to develop mobile applications, right? So it is a application development platform. What kind of applications you can able to develop? So we can able to develop web applications. So apps, for short form of the application is apps. Simply we can say web apps also. We can say like web apps. Web apps. So web apps means creation of websites. Websites. Nowadays, every organization, whether it is small or whether it is large, it will have a website to take their products into the market, right? For publicity purpose. Every organization requires websites, right? So here also we will have two types: static website, dynamic website. Static, dynamic. So what is meant by static? Static websites means the content in the website is not going to change for the longer durations of time, for the longer periods of time. But dynamic website, time to time, the content will be modified. For example, if you take a news channel, right? So if you open the website of a news channel, so present day news is not same like that of the upcoming day news, right? So with the here the thing is the data is going to render dynamically onto the page from the database. For example, if you see facebook.com, so in the facebook.com news feed section will be there. So whenever for example, if you open facebook.com at present now, and if you open the same facebook.com after 5 minutes later, the news feed is not same. So that is the section where the data is going to render onto the website dynamically, right? So how these tasks are going to get performed? So by we can able to create such kind of static and dynamic websites by using .NET, which is a application development platform. So and then after that, mobile applications, mobile apps, right? So in Android, so many applications, so many apps we are using to perform daily tasks like booking a cab, booking food order, right? Sending money to others, sending messages to others, WhatsApp, Facebook, Google Pay, Phone Pay, so many apps are there. So all the apps, first of all, should be built right. So one such kind of platform is the .NET, where you can able to develop Android applications, Windows applications, and as well as Apple applications also. Three different platforms are there for the mobiles. Android mobiles are there, and after that Windows mobiles are there, and Apple mobiles are there. So in Apple Store will be there. In Windows Store will be there. In Android, G Store will be there. From these stores only, Play Store it is called as. So from those stores only you need to download the app, you need to install that app, you need to start using that apps. But before publishing them into that particular what we can say stores, it needs to be developed. So that apps can be developed by using .NET. And then after that, desktop applications. Desktop applications. So what are desktop applications? So desktop applications runs on local machine. Runs on local machine. Right, for every computer, for every machine, the application should be installed. For example, I wanted to use MS Office, so I need to install that MS Office application in my laptop or in my system. Then only I can make use of it. Then, if you want to use MS Office compulsory, you need to install that MS Office application in your desktop, right? Which is local to your machine, right? So which are called local applications, means local to machine. So which are desktop applications? What are the examples? Just now I said Notepad, calculator, MS Paint, MS Office, PDF reader, right? So all the apps, whatever you are using in your laptop or in your desktop are desktop application. To build such a kind of applications, .NET is useful. And then after that, not only desktop applications, console applications can also be built. Console applications. So what are console applications? Console application make use of command prompt of your operating system, right? So console app, so whatever the application is nothing but a program, group of programs we can say. So why we will write programs? To perform a particular task, we are going to implement the programs, right? So then console applications means the program will run in the command prompt itself. So in the command prompt itself, we are going to provide data to the program, input data. Some calculations will be done. After that, you will get output there itself, the result of your program, which is called as output. So which are called console applications, can be built by .NET. And then after that, so GUI, so graphical user interface. I want to provide a GUI, graphical user interface to my program. Then you can able to use Windows Forms. Windows Forms. Simply it is called as WinForms, which provides you UI, right? UI library. Actually, it is called as UI library, which will be used along with the .NET, which will be bundled inside of the .NET, where you can able to provide user interface for your application or program. And then, so the advanced version of WPF, Windows Presentation Foundation. Windows Presentation Foundation. So this two will be used for developing UI applications for Windows. Okay, then after that, here for implementation of the websites, we will use that ASP.NET. To implement this console applications and this, we will use C#.NET. So what is C#? C# is the programming language. I said, what is program? Group of instructions. Why we are going to write programs? To get some work done by the machine, right? So because machine cannot understand our language. What are our languages? Speaking languages, if we consider Telugu, English, Hindi, so many languages are there. If you speak in these languages, other persons can able to understand, they can able to do the work what you want. But machines cannot understand these languages. Then what you need to do? Then you need to explain, or whatever the command you wanted to pass to the machine, it should be in ones and zeros, right? So only this kind of information can be understandable by the processor. Okay, why I am stressing this processor means whatever the applications we are using in machines, right? So every machine will have a minimum processor by controller to execute the programs, right? So then, but the processor will execute only this kind of information, which is called as binary code, but we are not going to write a program in this format, right? We are not going to write the program by using ones and zeros. We are going to write the code in English, in general English, but this code is not directly understandable by the processor. What we need to do? We need to translate it. So translate this program into processor dependent program, so which is bytecode, which is called as a binary code or bytecode. Native machine code, it is called as machine code. So convert this code into machine code, which is called as bytecode also. But how can we convert this code into this code? So then here every programming language is having inbuiltly one translator. So here a translator will be there. This translator will convert our English written code into binary code, which can be understandable by the processor. Thereby processor executes your program. So what kind of translators are there? Two kinds, compiler and interpreter. So whenever .NET is released, what is the year of release of .NET? 2002. What is the organization that is released? Microsoft. So Microsoft is the company who releases or who invented this .NET framework. We'll call it generally .NET framework, but it is application development platform. Okay then. In the year of 2002, this .NET is released, right? If you want to build any application, compulsory need use one programming language. So along with the .NET, the Microsoft people released a programming language which is C#. Right. So C# programming language is developed by the Microsoft and it is used along with the .NET. Right. So and then not only this, .NET supports so many programming languages. Around 60 plus programming languages support is there for the .NET. You can use. If you are familiar with the Java, you can write Java program in the .NET. You can use Java program to implement this kind of applications. If you are familiarized with the Python, you can use, right? So many programming languages are used. But at present day market, C# is the programming language which is used to implement all these applications with the .NET because C# is the powerful programming language. So if you compare C++, Java with the C#, C# is having more advanced features than that of Java and C++. Why? Because Java was released in 1995, C++ was released in 1980s, and here the thing is, it is released in 2002, right? So by doing some modifications to C++, the C# programming language has been brought into picture, right? So Java concepts will also be there, which are advanced, right? So then that's why. So most 90% of the applications in the .NET will use C# as a programming language to implement these applications. And Microsoft people already released one programming language, VB, Visual Basic Programming Language, which can be used in the .NET also. Like this, so many programming languages are there. J#, F#, right? VC++, .NET, J#, .NET, like this. You can able to use different programming languages, but 99.99% we are going to use C# as a programming language to build this kind of applications in the .NET, right? So how we can make use of this .NET framework or .NET? So now, is there any abbreviation for the .NET? Right? So there is no abbreviation for the .NET. There is no full form for the .NET. Microsoft doesn't given it. So but generally most of the people say it is network enabled technology. Network enabled technology. So this is not an official one. So but like this we can able to call it network enabled technology. It means that whenever you implement any application, right, the .NET application is having a capability to run in any type of networks. That is the meaning of it. Okay then. So how to make use of this .NET, how to implement these applications means, so the Microsoft people, right, provided you one IDE. What is IDE? Integrated Development Environment, right? We require, for example, I wanted to prepare a resume. So what we are going to do? We can take a notepad, there you can able to write your details and you can able to store it. Otherwise, you can take a Microsoft Word, right? So which is a platform, right? Which is a text editor, not platform, which is a text editor. That is a text editor. There you can able to type your text, you can store images, whatever it is you want, you can able to store. Here, I wanted to write program, I wanted to execute the program, I wanted to see the errors in my program, I wanted to implement the applications, all of these applications by using .NET means you need to use one IDE which is given by the Microsoft people, which is Visual Studio. Visual Studio is the IDE which is used to develop applications in the .NET. If you install Visual Studio, the .NET framework will be installed in your computer. Thereby, you can able to implement this kind of applications, right? So, and then one more thing is there in the Microsoft which is Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is just a text editor. It is not like this application development platform. Just it is a text editor where you can able to write different language programs and you can able to execute. but yet this is specially which is made to use .NET framework to implement this kind of applications, right? So just this is the introduction part, right? In the next class we will discuss about what are the different components, what is the structure of the .NET, right? So stay tuned to this channel to get more information regarding this .NET.